Okay, here we go again. Hello and welcome to day 7. It's officially 1 week of doing this now. This is the non-essential podcast brought to you by COVID-19 and the Andrews government. It is day 7 of a 42-day lockdown here in Melbourne. Curfew is in effect in about half an hour's time. It's 7:28 p.m. This has kind of become the time of the night or time of the day for me to sit down and record these podcasts. I think the last maybe 3 or 4 days, it's been like this time that I've sat in bed and hit record, ready to go. And it's another day of not really having much else to do, not much planned to talk about either. Did you guys catch that game of football earlier? Carlton and West Coast, not a bad game. I hate West Coast. They're right up there as, you know, everybody that doesn't barrack for Collingwood hates Collingwood. All right, we all know that. But West Coast, for me personally, is right up there as one of my most hated teams in the AFL. West Coast won. I really wanted Carlton to kind of get over the line. They deserved it. They were kind of, you know, the better team for probably 3 quarters. At least, you know, I was half paying attention to what was going on. So, but from what I saw, you know, they deserved to kind of win it. I think they were 19 points up at like late in the third quarter or something like that. And then West Coast came back and just ran over the top of them. So that's one thing that happened today that I guess maybe slightly annoyed me. Yeah, don't like West Coast. I think it's because they were the first interstate team to kind of take the Premiership Cup out of the state of Victoria back in 92 when they beat Geelong. The year before they lost to the mighty Fighting Hawks, though, in 1991 in a grand final that was played out at Waverley because I think it was because construction was going on at the MCG on the Great Southern Stand and they couldn't really fucking get people in there. So this grand final that probably will not be in the state of Victoria this year will be the second grand final that has not been played, to my knowledge, at the MCG. And there's 2 front runners at the moment. There's Perth and Brisbane. So it's either going to be played, they reckon, at Optus Stadium over in WA, or at the Gabba in Brisbane. I don't know where I would prefer to see it. I mean, there was a little thing on the news earlier, kind of like, it was almost like a game of football. They were kind of lining up the stats of both stadiums, and what was it? Optus Stadium holds 60,000. The Gabba holds 42,000, which I would have thought it would have been a little bit more than that. But apparently it's gonna cost the AFL a bit more money to go over to WA to do it. So, you know, the whispers that we're hearing about the grand final this year, you know, I think most people in the know at the moment are saying that it's gonna be up in Brisbane. So stay tuned for that. My stomach just made a bit of a funny noise there. If you heard that, it probably got picked up by the microphone. It's a very good microphone. My stomach has actually been making a lot of noises all day. I think one of the things about lockdown that I feel there it goes, making noises again. That one of the things about lockdown that I feel may be happening to a lot of people is, you know, we've heard the stories about people sort of panic buying food and toilet paper and all that sort of stuff, but I'm specifically talking about food here. I think a lot of people are probably buying the kinds of food that that fucking motorbike, again, going past every fucking night. And all day. They go past like a bunch of times. Last night, I think there was like 5 or 6 of them going past. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they actually just go into the supermarket. You know, they've got half an hour to do so. But the fuck was I talking about? Oh yeah, I think a lot of people are probably buying shit food because it's kind of, you know, it lasts longer and it's kind of just easier in a situation like this to just, you know, grab some pasta and some rice, those kinds of foods that don't really need to, the kinds of foods that can sit on your shelves for fucking months, basically, is what I'm getting at. And I think that's, you know, sort of what I'm doing at the moment as well. I feel like my normal diet would consist of food that is probably slightly better for you than the food I'm currently ingesting. If I happen to burp as well, I mentioned this the other day, it's because I've been drinking a cola, and I've got a can here at the moment. There's only a little bit left in there, but if I burp, deal with it. I mean, I don't know, I thought about apologising for a second, and then I thought, do I really need to? It's just a fucking burp. Like, just fucking relax, people. Pardon me, there we go. Right on cue. You're listening to the Non-Essential Podcast. Keep listening or not. Do whatever you want. Now, I am almost certain that I had one or two, at least, other things that I wanted to discuss today, but I didn't write them down. And now I can't remember them. And there's no excuse to have not written them down, really, even though I'm looking at a notepad right now that is across the other side of the room that I can't be bothered going to get, and that probably would explain why I didn't write it down on that. But the phone's been pretty much next to me all day. I could have just jotted down some notes in the notes. So no excuse. I'm a fool, basically, is what I'm getting at. Day 7, I haven't left the house. I don't even know when I left the house last. I think it might have actually been last Friday. To buy some food, and I bought a lot of food, so I haven't run out yet. We're getting through, people. I think I may need to leave the house again I'm going to say, I reckon by about, so it's Sunday night now, I reckon Tuesday, latest Wednesday, I might need to leave the house again. Go to the supermarket. Haven't done any exercise in this week and a bit. Haven't gone for any walks or anything like that. I think for me there's like a period of time where, and this sort of happened in the first lockdown, I didn't, you know, I mentioned this a few days ago, that I pretty much go for a walk. When life is normal, I go for a walk every night. And so it's been a bit weird not doing that, at least. But you know, when the first wave kind of hit, I don't think I went for a walk or anything like that for maybe a couple of weeks. And because, you know, we didn't know what the fuck was going on in that first wave, and we don't know what the fuck's going on in the second wave. I mean, everything that I'm hearing is that this second wave is fucking worse than the first. So it's not really making me want to go out and exercise, even though we're allowed to go out for an hour a day. You know, just like in prison, you know, you got an hour in the yard, and then you got to get the fuck back in your jail cell. So yeah, haven't even done that so far, and I reckon I might be able to go another week, not going for a walk or anything like that before I'll probably go for one. By then, hopefully the cases would have dropped dramatically, and the fear within me would have subsided a bit, and to the point where, you know, I feel brave enough to go out and go for a walk. It's the Non-Essential Podcast with me, Matty K. Just not essential at all, nor will it ever be. Nobody cares. I tell you what, it's becoming a bit of a chore, this whole podcast. I thought of the idea of doing it every day for lockdown during the first lockdown, and I didn't go through with it. And then a week ago, I said, you know what, fuck it. I threw my hands up in the air and just said, fuck it, let's just fucking do it. And here we are, 7 days into it. And I reckon by around about day 4, by about Thursday, the other day, it started to become a bit of a chore, but I'm determined to keep going with this. I'm determined to get through the 42 days. Hopefully I don't have to extend this podcast any longer than that. But it's becoming a bit of a chore, and the fact that if life was normal and I was doing this every day and I could go out and about and do shit, I might at least actually come up with some things to talk about based on interactions and things I have with people in the general public, or things I see, you know what I mean? Some observational sort of stuff. But I've got nothing really as far as content. I mean, as far as things to talk about, I have to kind of scroll through my social media feeds and see if there's anything interesting there. So it's a bit of a challenge. It's a bit of a task, but I think I'm up to it. And with your help pushing me along every day, we'll get through it, because we're all in this together. It is the Non-Essential Podcast. It is your COVID companion, as I'm calling it. It's me, Maddie. Hello. Just here to fucking have a chat. Just here to have a bit of a chinwag with you every day until we can go outside again. So this is starting to sound like the end of the show, where when I wrap it up and I'm like, if you got anything you want to fucking talk about, hit me up, jump on here with me and all that sort of stuff. That is how pressed we are at the moment, people, for things to talk about. Like I said, this is becoming a chore. I got nothing to talk about. And whatever notes I did have, I thought my fucking brain would be able to hold on to them until I hit record. But evidently, that is not the case. I might need to start fucking popping some more fish oils, some fish oil capsules. Are they good for memory? I think they're good for the brain, aren't they? I don't know. That's one thing we could discuss right now. Actually, let me just actually get up out of bed for a second and stop being a fucking lazy fuck, and grab my oh shit, I got fucking cords and cables and shit everywhere at the moment. Let me grab my fish oils. Alright, so I have these fish oil capsules, and I pop these most days, not every day, but most days. And where is it? I was talking to someone the other day, and they got a bit of a kick out of what I do with these fish oils, because it says here, directions. Adult, for general health and well-being, take 2 soft capsules daily with food. For cardiovascular and heart health, take 3 soft capsules daily with food. For mild osteoarthritis symptoms, take 2 soft capsules 3 times daily with food. Now, I looked at that and I was like, you know what? I actually have all of this wrong with me. I'm suffering from all of these fucking things. My general health and well-being could be a lot better, so I'll take 2 for that. I've probably got cardiovascular and heart problems, so I'll take 3 for that as well. So we're up to 5 now, 5 fish oils. For mild osteoarthritis symptoms, take 2 soft capsules 3 times daily with food. So that's another 6, so that's 11, right? I take 11 a day, because I'm trying to cover all of my bases. I'm looking at it, and like I said, my general health and well-being could be a lot better. I've probably got heart disease, or at least the early stages, and I definitely have some arthritis, particularly in my fucking right hand at the moment. My index and my middle fingers on my right hands, I jarred. They're the two fingers I jarred the most when I played footy. So all of those years of jarring fingers, are now starting to take their toll on me later in life. So that's what I do with my fish oils. I take a multivitamin a day. I only take one of those, and they're the only things that I really take on a semi-regular basis. Just the fish oils and the multi. I've also got some Gaviscon for a little bit of indigestion, and just some ibuprofen as well, some pain-killing kind of drugs, you know what I mean? Sometimes you just got aches and pains, people, when you get up to 36 years of age, like I am, and you've put your body through a world full of fucking pain over the years, bumps and bruises, and putting your body on the fucking line playing footy. And I was a physical fucking player when I played, so I used to smash a lot of people because I was fucking slow, and that was my way of kind of taking them out of the game a little bit, because I was never going to catch them if it was a foot race. And just all of that has taken its toll, and so keep your body in good working order, people. Take vitamins, try and eat as well as you possibly can. I could eat a lot better, I'm aware of that, but if I can give you any advice, stay healthy, physically and also mentally.
You're listening to the Non-Essential Podcast with Maddie K. Completely non-essential.
There's one thing that I think this whole lockdown has done for a lot of people is, I think it's given birth to a lot of creativity out there. I'm seeing a lot of people doing a lot of creative little endeavours while they're locked up, whether it's drawing or it's painting or it's doing a daily podcast like this. That's one good thing, I think, is that it's giving birth to a lot of creativity out there. A lot of people have trying their hands at different things. It's good, I think in life we can kind of and a lot of people are either kind of rediscovering sort of these creative things. Like a lot of the people that I'm seeing that are like drawing, they're drawers from way back, but they just haven't done it in ages because life gets in the way sometimes, people. It gets in the way of your fucking passions. It gets in the way of mainly just your passions. I think we get so fucking wrapped up in kind of paying the bills and all that sort of stuff, and just going, just getting through one from one week to the next, that we kind of forget about a lot of the things that really made us tick, particularly as youths, as children. And so I think that's one positive to come out of this whole kind of situation that we find ourselves in, is that a lot of people are kind of just kind of rediscovering a lot of their passions and things that they really enjoy doing. And it's good, and a lot of people are discovering and finding new passions and taking up new hobbies and all that sort of shit, and finding out that they actually really fucking enjoy whatever it is they're doing, whether they're learning a new language or they're fucking whatever it is, you know what I mean? It's sort of good to see. I wish I kind of had a little bit more that I felt like doing, other than just doing this sort of podcast every day, which, as I said, I don't know if I even really feel like doing this every day anymore. But keep going out there, people. If you've taken up a new hobby, you're doing something to just fucking pass the time. Some people are learning instruments, and I forever and a day will tell people that learning to play some instruments is probably one of the best things I've ever done in my life. I play guitar, a little bit of keys, a little bit of ukulele. So I've got 3 little instruments there that I can sort of fall back on. But yeah, learn a fucking instrument, because I tell you what, the moment you learn how to kind of play a song, you're like, fucking hell, this is great, you know. And I often say to myself, man, I'm so glad that rather than, you know, sort of spending hours playing video games that don't really sort of fucking give you much, I took the time to learn instruments instead, because, you know, kind of the joy that you get from doing that, I feel personally, kind of far exceeds playing a video fucking game. I know a lot of people out there would disagree. You know, video games and gaming is big business these days. They sell out fucking arenas and shit. But I don't know. I don't really get it. It just I'm so glad that rather than doing that, I did something a bit more, you know, creative, I guess, and something that just feels a little more worthwhile. Learn a fucking instrument, alright, you fucking people.
You're listening to the Non-Essential Podcast with Maddie K. Fuck COVID.
But you know what, if you want to play video games, just play video games. I don't know, who the fuck am I to tell you what you should and shouldn't fucking spend your time doing, you know? If you fucking just want to sit there and play video games, cool. I mean, I know that I would much rather just fucking strum the guitar, but a lot of people out there probably just prefer to play video games. And who knows, they might get so good at it that they become world champions. And like I was saying just before, you know, it's fucking big business now, the gaming fucking business, you know what I mean? You're probably more likely to become a big kind of, you know, a sensation in the gaming world and earn a living doing that than I am making music, probably. So, yeah, do whatever the fuck you want, you know what I mean? As long as you're not hurting anybody, do whatever the fuck you want. That's the great thing about this world, people, is that we all have many different passions and loves and things we like to do. The world would be fucking boring if we were all the same. It would be about as boring as lockdown. So just, you know, the phrase "you do you" is a great one. Just do whatever the fuck you want to do, you know what I mean? Be who you are. Don't worry about catering to fucking people like me who tell you stop playing video games. That's not to say that I haven't fucking wasted a lot of time playing video games myself. I remember, you know, I used to play a lot of Mario Kart back in the day on the 64, Nintendo 64. There was a James Bond 007 game that I used to play a bit on the Nintendo 64 as well. This is how long it's been since I, you know, played games. I'm talking about a console that is nearly 30 years old. Yeah, so Mario Kart, fantastic. Spent a lot of time playing that. Spent a lot of time playing this James Bond game, and there was one level, I can't remember the name of it, that I could never fucking get through. I never got through it. It was like this jungle kind of level, and it really pissed me off. I got close on a few occasions, I think, but just never was able to get over the line and clock the game. See, there you go. I may not be a gamer, but I know the terminology. Clock. Did you clock it? There was a Formula 1 racing game I used to play a lot on the 64 as well. Going back, how many years now? I reckon around about 2005-ish, there was this rugby game I used to play a lot of. Rugby 2005, I think, is the name of the game. I used to play a lot of that on the Xbox. Used to go around to a mate's place and play a lot of FIFA. As Valentino Rossi drives past yet again. and NBA Live, I think it was. Used to play a lot of that at my mate's place as well. So, look, you know, I'm a child of the 90s, so of course I've played a lot of video games, right? But all I'm saying is, why the fuck am I spending this much time talking about fucking trying to justify my stance on video games? Fuck you all, alright? You do what you want to do, and I'll do what I want to do.
You're listening to the Non-Essential Podcast with Matty K. Help.
Alright, how long have we gone now? We're coming up to sort of 25-ish sort of minutes. Alright. I think, because I'm actually recording these in little blocks instead of one sort of long recording. So I'm actually just roughly adding together the times on each recording. So I guess we'll just fucking wrap it up. I got nothing to fucking talk about. Day 7. Will I still be around doing this on day 8? Who knows? It's, as I said at the top of the show, becoming a fucking chore. But I'm fucking determined to just keep pushing through. Sometimes you gotta push through these walls in life, people. All right, kids. You gotta push through. You know, we can do it. I mean, if we can actually do the whole 6 weeks of lockdown, then we can do a podcast every day. It's no fucking biggie, Matty. Just fucking do it. Get involved. It'll make the whole thing easier. Interact with me. Get on here with me. Have a bit of a chat for half an hour or whatever. Let's make the time go quicker for all of us. You know. Hit me up if you want to talk about something, if you want me to talk about something, you want my thoughts and my opinions on things. I'll look at it. I'll have very little thought about what it is you're asking, and then I'll just riff on it, you know, and probably say some shit that isn't cool, and I'll have to retract some statements. And in my defense, I'll just say, you know what, I didn't really fucking think about what I was asked about, and I just fucking went off at, you know, and said some fucking hurtful shit. All right, I'm sorry. I'm just a man. Leave me alone. So yeah, get involved. Jump on here with me. The Non-Essential Podcast. We're doing it every day until lockdown is over. Stay safe out there, people. You know, just keep doing the right fucking things. Keep doing what, you know, sort of the people in charge are telling us to do, because that's what's going to fucking get us through to the other side, as Dan Andrews keeps saying, you know. Don't try and be a fucking hero. There were some people out there today, you know, in a real fucking lame-ass attempt at a protest. You're fucking morons. I hope you guys get locked up. To the point, you know, where you can't actually really go anywhere, because you shouldn't have fucking left your house anyway. So fuck you guys that were, you know, went into the city today to try and fucking put on a protest. Yeah, that's it, I think. What are we at now? That's another 3 minutes, so we're coming up to probably around about 27, 28. That's enough for today. I'm going to sit down now and I'm going to plan my week coming up. Pardon me. I've got a little bit of work to do, which is good. And just some of my own sort of personal kind of things that I, you know, need to tick off my to-do list. And then we'll sit down and record again tomorrow night. And every night until this is over. Anyway, that's it. Again, stay safe. Chat to you guys later. Have a great night. Sleep tight. Sleep well. And we'll do it again tomorrow. Alright. Ciao.